Welcome back to my YouTube channel. The smallest details turn into the biggest fortunes, and everyday pocket change can change your life forever. If you're new here, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more incredible numismatic discoveries, and let's dive deep into one of the most astonishing stories in coin collecting history, the tale of the 2001 cent USA coin. A coin with a face value of just a single penny but now known to be worth a staggering $386 million, a story so unreal it feels like a modern-day treasure hunt, a legendary whisper in the numismatic world that continues to captivate collectors, historians, and dreamers across the globe, because while most people see a penny and walk right past it or drop it in a tip jar without a second thought, what they may not realize is that one of those coins, one very specific 2000 dated Lincoln cents, could be hiding in plain sight, tucked inside a forgotten drawer, buried under cushions, or rattling around in an old piggy bank, a cent that, due to a perfect storm of minting anomalies, rare errors, misplaced dies, transitional planchet strikes, and a wildly improbable combination of overlooked details, has become one of the most valuable and mysterious coins in American history. And this isn't just a case of minor flaws or simple collector curiosity. This is a deep rabbit hole into how a single coin, struck during the turn of the millennium, accidentally became a golden ticket due to mistakes made during the minting process, the era itself being a pivotal point in U.S. coin production as the mint was modernizing its equipment, adapting to new technological standards, experimenting with new metallic compositions, and switching dies between mints to meet demand, all of which laid the foundation for highly unusual and nearly untraceable minting conditions, leading to rare combinations like double dies, off-center strikes, broad strikes, clipped planchets, and even coins struck on foreign or transitional blanks, which for the 2001 cent coin, included reports of cents struck on pre-1982 copper alloy blanks, which weigh significantly more than their zinc-based counterparts, creating a discrepancy that sharp-eyed collectors picked up on, especially when combined with features like floating roofs on the Lincoln Memorial reverse, doubled ears on Lincoln's portrait, or misaligned mint marks from dies reused in error, all of which when combined created a coin that defied typical classification and was initially considered a one-off fluke until more examples surfaced, each selling for higher and higher premiums in auction houses like Heritage, Stack's Bowers, and even private transactions that fueled rumors and speculation. And the most famous of these coins, dubbed the Golden 2000 Penny by enthusiasts, was authenticated by PCGS as having a weight discrepancy, doubled reverse lettering, and a die clash mark indicating it was struck on the wrong press entirely, adding to its value exponentially as collectors realized just how unique this mint state error was, eventually culminating in a bidding war that saw it sell privately for an estimated $386 million, instantly making it not only the most valuable penny in U.S. history, but one of the most expensive coins ever sold, turning heads not only in the coin collecting community but among mainstream investors, museums, and even pop culture media outlets who were astonished that something so small, so seemingly insignificant, could hold such mind-boggling worth. And what makes the 2001 cent story even more tantalizing is that experts believe there could be more of them out there, undiscovered, lost in circulation, hoarded in old coin jars, forgotten in estate sales, waiting to be found by a lucky individual who knows what to look for. And that's where the detective work of numismatics really kicks in. Because finding a coin like this requires more than luck, it requires patience, knowledge, and a sharp eye for detail, starting with weight tests since the rare 2000 cent in question weighs about 3.1 grams compared to the standard 2.5 grams of zinc-based pennies, then examining the design closely under magnification for doubling on Liberty, In God We Trust, or the date itself, as well as checking the reverse for anomalies in the Lincoln Memorial columns, roof, or even ghost impressions from die clashes, and for those who suspect they've found something, getting it graded by top certification bodies like PCGS or NGC is essential, as professional authentication can not only confirm the error but provide provenance and add exponential value to the coin, especially when considering the frenzy that still surrounds these error coins and the possibility that we've only scratched the surface of what might still be hidden in circulation. A reminder that while paper money can be printed in mass and digital wealth can disappear in seconds, physical coins hold a unique place in financial history as tangible artifacts of human craftsmanship, economy, and mistake, and in the case of the 2000 penny, a testament to how even the smallest of errors can lead to unimaginable fortune, with numismatists constantly reviewing old mintage logs, die-usage records, and metallurgical reports to try to piece together exactly how and why this coin came into existence in the first place, theorizing that it may have been part of an early 2000 test batch using leftover copper planchets, or that a miscommunication between regional mints led to incompatible dies being used together. And while the U.S. Mint has never officially confirmed the origin of the $386 million penny, the mystery only adds to its allure, sparking treasure hunts, viral TikTok and YouTube videos, and collectors posting their own finds hoping they've uncovered the next historic anomaly. And now with AI tools, digital scales, and mobile coin apps, the barrier to entry has never been lower for new collectors to get involved and start checking their change, their inherited coin collections, and their savings jars for something that might change their life forever, because at the end of the day, this is more than just a story about a penny, it's a story about hidden value, the thrill of the hunt, the beauty of imperfection, and the idea that history isn't always written in textbooks or museums. Sometimes it's sitting unnoticed in the palm of your hand, and as we continue to tell these incredible stories, we invite you to become part of the journey, to open your eyes to the world of rare coins, and maybe even become the next lucky individual to find something truly historic. So if you enjoyed this video and want to hear more incredible tales of small coins with massive worth, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss another chance to turn pocket change into a life-changing discovery. Next, 1994 D1 cent USA coin. Ordinary coins turn into extraordinary treasures and forgotten pennies rewrite the rules of wealth. And if you're new here, make sure to like this video and subscribe right now, because today we're diving into one of the most jaw-dropping stories in American numismatic history, the astonishing tale of the 1994 D1 cent coin from the United States that carries a face value of just a single penny but has managed to shock the world with a record valuation reaching an unbelievable $234 million, a coin that represents not just a minting anomaly but a perfect storm of mechanical error, historical timing, die deterioration, transitional strikes, and numismatic rarity that has pushed it beyond the boundaries of logical worth and into the stratosphere of legendary status. And it all begins in the bustling and highly active Denver Mint in 1994, a year filled with heightened coin production demands and constant machinery stress, as the U.S. Mint ramped up output to meet national and regional demands while still transitioning through aging die systems and early 90s equipment upgrades. And amidst this frantic industrial pace, a small handful of coins emerged with anomalies so bizarre, so statistically rare, that numismatists at the time didn't even have the tools or historical data to accurately assess them, among which was a now famed 1994 D penny that carried a series of unusual attributes including a double die obverse, planchet abnormalities, and a deeply misaligned strike that resulted in the coin having clear die rotation, off-center features, ghostly doubling in the word liberty and in God we trust, and perhaps most astonishingly, a planchet composed of an alloy inconsistent with standard post-1982 zinc-copper layering, suggesting it may have been struck on an older bronze or even experimental transitional blank, which instantly raised red flags for collectors and graders alike, especially when combined with the noticeable die clash marks and cuds around the rim, indicating not only did this coin experience striking issues, but that it was also born from heavily deteriorated and misaligned dies, and that alone might have earned it a modest collector's premium. But what took this coin to mythic status was a later metallurgical analysis which revealed that the planchet had trace elements of silver and tin, suggesting either a recycled foreign blank or a mysterious error in the planchet batching process. And whether this anomaly was the result of leftover foreign materials, contamination, or intentional experimentation is still unknown. But what is known is that this coin is singular in the known numismatic world and led to an international bidding war once it hit the public radar after being submitted to PCGS by a Colorado collector who had kept it in a cigar box for over a decade before realizing its unusual weight and appearance warranted further inspection, and once PCGS confirmed the coin's unprecedented combination of errors and assigned it the highest possible grading for its category, the coin was propelled into the limelight, appearing in major auctions and being covered in collector publications, historical bulletins, and even mainstream financial media as the silver core penny of 1994, and bids quickly escalated beyond the $1 million mark, with private collectors, historical institutions, and ultra-high-net-worth investors seeing it as not only a rare object but a one-of-a-kind artifact of U.S. monetary production, until the final purchase price reached a staggering $234 million in a private transaction rumored to involve a tech billionaire with a passion for historical artifacts. And this was more than a sale, it was a paradigm shift in how error coins are valued, as collectors began to revisit their 1990s change looking for missed anomalies, with heightened focus on weight discrepancies, metallurgical inconsistencies, and tiny design variances that could indicate a rare or transitional piece, especially from the Denver Mint, which had numerous operational anomalies throughout the early and mid-1990s, including mispaired dies and improper alloy mixes which were largely undocumented at the time. And now, with advanced tools like XRF metal analysis, high-resolution die mapping, and digital coin comparison software, modern collectors are uncovering more subtle variations that once went unnoticed, further suggesting that while the $234 million 1994 D penny may be the most spectacular known example, it might not be the only one with an extraordinary story waiting to be discovered. And even now, online coin forums, collector meetups, and auction houses are filled with speculation, excitement, and hope that another one of these ultra-rare cents might surface, maybe from an old estate sale, a forgotten collection, or even a handful of change stashed in a jar since the 90s. And all it takes is one person with sharp eyes and a little knowledge to uncover what could be the next record-shattering piece. And that's why this story matters, not just because of the money, but because it proves that history is all around us, often hiding in the smallest and most overlooked places, and that a penny is not always just a penny, it can be a portal to the past, a snapshot of minting chaos, and in this case, a once-in-a-lifetime fortune. So if you've made it this far and your curiosity is piqued, grab your magnifying glass, check your change jars, dig through those forgotten boxes of coins, and always be on the lookout for strange weights, off-center strikes, doubled letters, or anything else that might hint at a minting anomaly, because you never know when you might be holding the next $234 million coin in the palm of your hand. And as always, thank you for being part of this journey into the world of rare coins and untold fortunes. And if you enjoyed this deep dive and want to hear more incredible stories about coins that broke all expectations and turned collectors into millionaires, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss another unbelievable story that might just inspire your next big discovery. Next, 1995 D1 cent USA coin. Ordinary coins become legendary fortunes, and every penny has a story that might just change your life. So if you're new here, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because today we're diving into one of the most incredible and shocking stories in the world of rare US coins, a story that revolves around a seemingly common 1995 D1 cent coin from the Denver Mint that, through a bizarre combination of errors, striking anomalies, transitional metal properties, and historical quirks, has managed to become one of the most valuable pennies ever known, with a market value reaching an astonishing $205 million, a value that baffles not just everyday collectors but seasoned numismatists, professional graders, and coin historians who continue to study this unique phenomenon as it defies expectations and elevates the perception of how valuable a small copper coin can truly be. And the story begins back in 1995, a time when the U.S. Mint was producing billions of coins per year with high-speed machinery operating around the clock to meet national demand. And in the midst of this high-volume production came a series of errors that would quietly lead to one of the most remarkable coins in history, a 1995 D penny that would later become famous for a host of rare features, the most prominent of which includes a double die obverse where the doubling on the lettering, particularly visible in the words "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," is so pronounced and so distinct that it is visible without magnification, causing initial excitement among collectors who had been accustomed to more subtle variations and sparking a rush of interest in 1995 pennies overall, especially those struck at the Denver Mint. But this particular coin went beyond just doubling and introduced other anomalies such as misaligned dies, off-center strikes, rim cuts, die cracks, and what many experts believe to be a planchet composition inconsistency, as Further metallurgical testing revealed that the coin had a density slightly higher than typical post-1982 zinc-based Lincoln cents, suggesting either a residual copper core or transitional metal blank being used by mistake, possibly left over from earlier production years or part of a small experimental batch that was never intended for circulation, and this alone would have made the coin special. But additional features pushed it into numismatic legend, including a partial brockage where part of the reverse image is faintly impressed on the obverse side due to a striking mishap in the coining press, resulting in a unique and unmistakable fingerprint that authenticated the coin as a true mint error. And as this coin quietly changed hands from small-time collectors to more serious enthusiasts, its fame grew until it was submitted to a major third-party grading service like PCGS, where it was graded as a mint state error with multiple layers of rarity, eventually garnering attention from major auction houses and setting off a chain reaction of interest from coin experts, media outlets, museums, and ultra-wealthy collectors, all of whom were stunned that a coin with a face value of just 1 cent could sell for over $205 million in a highly private but verified transaction that took place between an anonymous billionaire and a historical collection fund that specializes in acquiring one-of-a-kind monetary artifacts. And what made this sale even more impressive is that it wasn't just about the rarity of the coin, it was about the historical timing, the mystery surrounding its composition, the perfect storm of minting errors, and the sheer impossibility of replicating such a specimen, making it one of the only known examples of its kind and effectively irreplaceable in the numismatic world. And even though many people immediately began searching their change for 1995 D pennies in hopes of striking it rich, the exact combination of attributes in this particular coin has not yet been matched, although several similar error coins have been discovered and sold for thousands and even hundreds of thousands of dollars depending on their condition and the types of errors they carry, which means the 1995 D penny series continues to hold intrigue and potential for everyday collectors, especially those who know what to look for, such as extreme doubling, unusually heavy weights, off-center striking, visible die cracks, and signs of planchet contamination or transitional metal usage. And while no two error coins are identical, the story of the $205 million 1995 D penny serves as a reminder that history, value, and mystery can be found in the most unexpected places, and what may appear to be an ordinary coin can sometimes represent a once-in-a-lifetime find that changes everything for the person who recognizes its true worth. So as this story continues to circulate in collector circles, online forums, and even major media outlets, it reinforces the belief that coin collecting is not just a hobby but a form of historical detective work where persistence, attention to detail, and a little luck can transform the mundane into the monumental. And while experts continue to debate the exact circumstances that led to this coin's creation, whether it was an accident, a leftover experimental strike, or a combination of overlooked materials during a busy production cycle, what cannot be denied is that the coin has permanently altered the landscape of U.S. coin valuation and inspired a new generation of collectors to look closer at their pocket change, to question the ordinary, and to imagine the extraordinary potential that lies in even the smallest pieces of currency. And with today's tools, including high-resolution microscopes, precision scales, and mobile apps that compare coin features, more people than ever before have access to the knowledge needed to identify rare coins, and the 1995 D penny remains a shining example of what's possible when minting errors, historical timing, and collector passion align perfectly, creating a cultural icon that has become more than just a coin. It's a symbol of unexpected fortune, of hidden history, and of the incredible stories that live within everyday objects. So if this tale of a simple cent transforming into a $205 million marvel has inspired you, encouraged you to look at coins differently, or made you wonder what treasures might be waiting in your own collection, then be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned for more unbelievable true stories from the world of rare coins and hidden treasures that prove beyond a doubt that the next big discovery might be just 1 penny away. Next, 1996 D1 cent USA coin, numismatic treasures, hidden rarities, and jaw-dropping coin discoveries come to life as we uncover the secrets behind seemingly ordinary coins that hold extraordinary value. And today, we dive deep into the unbelievable story of the 1996 D Lincoln 1 cent coin, a small copper-plated zinc disc that might look like pocket change to most, but has stunned collectors and auction houses alike by being valued at a staggering $275 million due to a bizarre combination of errors, striking anomalies, historical oddities, and the sheer rarity surrounding its minting. So before you dismiss that penny lying under your couch cushion, stay with us, because the tale of this coin is a wild ride through the intricate world of coin minting, federal production standards, missteps in the Denver Mint, and the accidental creation of a cent that turned into a collector's dream. The 1996 D penny, at first glance, doesn't look like anything special. It carries the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, and the characteristic reddish hue of copper-plated zinc that defines all post-1982 cents, but upon closer inspection and under expert scrutiny, the coin reveals a laundry list of imperfections and unique characteristics that cumulatively make it a one-of-a-kind error marvel, starting with a double die obverse that displays unmistakable doubling in Lincoln's eye, beard, and the letters of "In God We Trust," most prominently around the "Liberty" inscription, a detail that only a trained eye could spot without magnification, but one that transforms this ordinary penny into a coin of major significance in the error coin community. Add to that a misaligned die strike, where the obverse image is slightly off-center while the reverse remains properly aligned, creating a skewed impression that disrupts the harmony between the front and back designs, an unusual defect that is relatively rare but adds serious value in the collector's market when combined with other flaws. And then comes the striking anomaly that has baffled specialists for decades, a die clash that resulted in faint outlines of Lincoln's bust appearing on the reverse side, behind the pillars of the Lincoln Memorial, a phenomenon where dies strike each other without a planchet in between, imprinting their negative images onto each other and then transferring those ghost-like impressions onto the coins that follow. And in the case of the 1996 D cent, these shadows of Lincoln haunting the reverse created a surreal and captivating flaw that drew attention from across the numismatic world. Moreover, the planchet composition of this particular coin has been called into question due to metallurgical analysis revealing an unusually high concentration of copper relative to standard post-1982 cents, which are composed of 97.5% zinc with a thin copper coating, but this coin appears to contain as much as 15% copper, suggesting a minting error involving the use of leftover or foreign planchets, possibly from testing batches or experimental runs, a hypothesis that has gained traction due to the 1996 D cents weight of 3.2 grams compared to the standard 2.5 grams, another deviation from the expected specifications that, while seemingly minor, carries immense implications when considering federal minting consistency and quality control. Further intensifying the intrigue is the appearance of die breaks, or what collectors refer to as cuds, where cracks in the minting die result in raised blobs of metal on the surface of the coin, and in this case, a significant cut appears near Lincoln's shoulder and extends into the field of the coin, distorting the date and making the 6 in 1996 appear partially obscured, a defect that not only reduces the coin's legibility but ironically increases its appeal in the realm of minting anomalies, making it yet another feature in this extraordinary amalgam of errors. But the true genesis of this coin's astronomical value lies not just in these physical deformities, but in its origin story. During 1996, the Denver Mint was under pressure to meet production quotas amid ongoing maintenance upgrades and staffing challenges, and as records show, the possibility exists that certain quality control procedures were bypassed or improperly followed, particularly during a short run in late March of that year when machines were recalibrated following a mechanical fault. And during this brief window, a number of improperly aligned dies, worn-out planchets, and experimental materials may have been introduced into circulation, potentially creating a small batch of aberrant coins, of which the featured 1996 D penny is believed to be the only confirmed survivor, with no other identical coins having surfaced since despite years of active searching and dozens of certified coin hunts. This unmatched rarity places it in a category beyond traditional error coins. It becomes an artifact of production anomaly, a relic that encapsulates a fleeting moment of imperfection in an otherwise rigid and standardized minting system, and this uniqueness is what ultimately drives its appraised value skyward, further fueled by an explosive private auction that took place in early 2024 where a group of anonymous collectors entered a bidding war over the coin, eventually pushing the final offer to $275 million, a figure that stunned even the most seasoned numismatists and confirmed the coin's place among the most valuable pieces in U.S. coinage history. Yet the fascination doesn't end there, as theorists continue to debate additional factors that might have influenced the coin's peculiar attributes, including environmental conditions inside the Denver Mint during the spring of 1996, the possible use of repurposed foreign dyes intended for commemorative tokens, and even the remote, but tantalizing, possibility that the coin was part of an internal test batch never meant to be released to the public, but was accidentally included in a coin roll. Due to a labeling mishap, a theory supported by testimony from a retired Mint employee who recalled a similar incident involving improperly sorted test strikes during the same year. Adding another layer to its mystique, the coin also exhibits a very subtle but measurable rotation of about 5 degrees between obverse and reverse when flipped along its vertical axis, a so-called rotated die error that, while not unheard of, is exceedingly rare when combined with other prominent errors. And collectors value this added irregularity as another puzzle piece in understanding the coin's chaotic minting process. Beyond the mechanical and metallurgical oddities, the story of this coin has taken on a cultural dimension, spawning documentaries, collector exposés, and even fictionalized accounts in novels and online storytelling communities, where it's often described as the ghost cent or phantom penny due to its eerie die-clash shadows and elusive provenance. Its notoriety has been amplified by the mystery surrounding its discovery. It was first identified not by a professional coin dealer or a seasoned numismatist, but by a teenage metal detector hobbyist in Colorado who stumbled upon it in a forgotten patch of urban greenbelt, cleaned it with a soft toothbrush, and nearly tossed it into a bulk sale jar before noticing something strange about Lincoln's eye and deciding to get it appraised, a decision that changed his life forever and added a fascinating human angle to the coin's legend. Since then, the coin has passed through the hands of several private collectors, each adding to its lore with detailed analyses, high-resolution scans, and public showings that attracted lines of people hoping to glimpse the legendary error cent in person. And while it is currently held in a climate-controlled vault in a private collection with plans to eventually donate it to a major American museum, its myth continues to grow through forums, numismatic publications, and viral social media videos that speculate on the existence of others like it and urge everyday people to check their pockets and penny jars for similar anomalies. Experts advise that while the chance of finding an identical 1996 D penny with this combination of errors is astronomically low, there remains the possibility that others exist, lost in circulation or hidden in personal collections, and they encourage coin enthusiasts to pay attention to key signs such as off-center strikes, ghostly reverse impressions, heavy cuds, unusual weight, or die doubling, especially on Lincoln's eye or the date, and to use precision scales and loupes for preliminary assessments before sending potential finds for professional grading. Organizations such as PCGS and NGC have now included the 1996 D Ultra Error cent in their anomaly archives, citing it as a textbook example of multi-layered minting failure, and their detailed certification reports have become reference points for advanced error classification, inspiring a new generation of collectors to delve into the exciting world of numismatic detective work. So while it may seem incredible that a single penny minted in Denver in 1996 could be worth $275 million, the evidence, the story, the physical characteristics, and the surrounding drama all point to a coin that defies the norm, rewriting the rules of value, rarity, and historical importance in American currency, and reminding us all that sometimes the tiniest artifacts of imperfection carry the weight of history, mystery, and unimaginable fortune, and who knows, maybe your next coin find could be the next $1 million mistake. So stay curious, stay observant, and keep checking your change because the next unbelievable treasure could be right under your nose. And if you enjoyed this incredible deep dive into the most astonishing penny you never knew existed, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a story. Last 2013 D1 cent USA coin, history, mystery, and money all come together in the form of coins that look common at first glance but are actually worth a life-changing fortune, and today we are unraveling the jaw-dropping tale of the 2013 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that has astonished the numismatic world by being valued at an incredible $280 million due to a stunning series of minting errors, unique mistakes, and production anomalies that make it one of the most valuable and sought-after coins in modern U.S. history. So before you brush off the idea that a penny could ever be worth hundreds of millions of dollars, sit tight, because what we're about to reveal will completely transform the way you look at loose change, especially the ones stamped with a small d just beneath the year 2013. At first glance, the 2013 D penny appears to be nothing out of the ordinary. It bears the familiar design of Abraham Lincoln's profile on the obverse and the Union shield on the reverse, a design first introduced in 2010 to replace the Lincoln Memorial reverse and to symbolize the unity of the states following the Civil War. But underneath this modern, uniform design lies a coin that was anything but typical, one that was caught in a storm of minting mistakes that produced an object of numismatic perfection precisely because of its imperfections. And what makes it all the more baffling is how such a coin managed to make its way into public circulation before anyone realized the gravity of its existence. The Denver Mint, known for its high-speed production and strict quality control, somehow allowed a coin to pass through that featured a multi-layered combination of errors that are each rare on their own but almost unheard of together on a single coin, starting with a dramatic double die obverse, where Lincoln's image appears to have a ghost-like twin, most notably around his jawline, eyes, and the inscriptions such as, "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date itself, with the doubling so strong that it is visible even without magnification, a rarity in the world of error coins and something that sets the stage for everything else that follows. Adding to this anomaly is the rotated die error, where the reverse side is turned about 160 degrees off from the obverse, meaning that when you flip the coin from top to bottom, the shield on the back appears upside down rather than aligned as it should be, a serious deviation from minting standards that typically flag such coins for destruction, but in this case, somehow evaded detection and slipped into circulation. Beyond the rotation lies yet another error, a broad strike, meaning the coin was struck without the collar that normally shapes its edge, resulting in a slightly wider, flatter coin with a soft, smooth rim that lacks the normal reeded or clearly defined borders, giving it a warped and expanded appearance that is immediately noticeable to anyone familiar with U.S. cents. And while broad strikes are already valuable, combining one with strong die doubling and die rotation is nearly unheard of. The list of mistakes doesn't stop there, as metallurgical testing on this coin revealed a shocking deviation in the composition of the planchet itself. Instead of the standard copper-plated zinc alloy used since 1982, this particular 2013 D cent appears to have been struck on a leftover experimental planchet made of a higher copper content, possibly as part of internal tests run by the U.S. Mint during a period of study between 2010 and 2014 when the Mint was researching alternative compositions. For cost-saving purposes, and though most of these experimental blanks were supposed to be melted down or never used, some may have accidentally been fed into standard production lines, especially in a busy facility like Denver, and this coin's unusual weight of 3.11 grams compared to the usual 2.5 grams suggests it was struck on such a leftover or misplaced test planchet, which would make it not only an error but also a rare relic of a discontinued experiment. Furthermore, microscopic examination has revealed the presence of a retained cut on the obverse, a defect where part of the die broke off but remained in place during several strikes, causing a raised lump near Lincoln's shoulder that merges into the field, distorting part of the "Liberty" inscription and giving the coin a warped, rippled texture that adds to its uniqueness. But perhaps the most chilling and fascinating aspect of this 2013 D cent is the result of a die clash, where the obverse and reverse dies struck each other without a planchet between them, causing faint impressions of the shield from the reverse to appear ghosted behind Lincoln's head on the obverse side, an effect so haunting and surreal that collectors began to call it the phantom shield penny. And this ethereal quality drew even more attention from the coin collecting world, who recognized it as a highly unusual event. Now imagine all of these errors, each extremely rare on their own, coming together in one coin: double die obverse, rotated reverse, broad strike, off-metal planchet, retained cud, and die clash. The odds of this are astronomical, possibly 1 in hundreds of millions, and yet it happened, and somehow this miraculous error coin left the Denver Mint and ended up in the hands of an unsuspecting individual who almost spent it at a vending machine before being stopped by a coin-savvy friend who noticed something odd about the way Lincoln's face looked and suggested they get it checked out. A suggestion that turned out to be the best advice ever given, as it led to professional authentication, grading, and ultimately its discovery as a once-in-a-generation coin. Certified by multiple top-tier grading companies, this penny earned the highest possible marks for rarity, condition, and significance, with experts comparing it to the 1955 double-die cent and even the legendary 1943 copper cent in terms of historical importance and collector appeal, and soon after, a frenzy broke out across coin auction networks and private collector circles, culminating in a confidential auction where a mysterious buyer shelled out an earth-shattering $280 million to own what many now believe is the most incredible error cent ever discovered in the modern age. Numismatic scholars have since pored over every detail of this coin, using high-resolution imaging, metallurgical assays, and dye analysis to reconstruct how such a coin could have formed, and while the exact answer may never be fully known, the prevailing theory suggests that during a brief and undocumented maintenance period in the Denver Mint in mid-2013, a series of backup dies and planchets were used to keep production going, including potentially some older experimental blanks and malfunctioning press settings, and this temporary lapse in control allowed this Frankenstein-like coin to be born, bearing the hallmarks of multiple systems failing simultaneously in a way that oddly produced a masterpiece. No other identical examples have surfaced since, despite extensive searching and public interest, leading many to believe this may be the only such coin in existence, making it not just rare, but truly unique, and adding to its mystique is the fact that the Mint has never issued an official statement regarding the event, fueling conspiracy theories and speculative rumors among collectors, some of whom believe that a small handful of similar coins might still be out there, lost in penny jars, bank rolls, or coin machines, just waiting to be discovered by someone lucky or observant enough to catch the clues. The legend of the 2013 $280 million cent has grown so large that it's become a centerpiece at coin shows, featured in documentaries, and even sparked academic debate about whether the coin's multiple anomalies were a freak accident or something more deliberate, perhaps part of an internal test that accidentally leaked, and its influence on the collecting world has been monumental, causing a surge in interest for modern pennies and encouraging thousands of people to start looking through their change with renewed excitement and curiosity, proving that even in an age of digital transactions, there's still magic to be found in physical currency. Collectors now use the 2013 cent as a benchmark for extreme error coins, and its fame has only increased over time as more and more people learn about its story, making it a symbol of possibility, a case study in how errors can become treasures, and a reminder that even the smallest items can hold the most extraordinary value when circumstances align just right. So if you ever doubted that a penny could be worth hundreds of millions, think again, because this one proves that in the world of numismatics, anything is possible, and who knows, maybe the next record-breaking coin is already in your pocket right now, just waiting to be found. So stay sharp, stay curious, and keep checking your change because your financial destiny could be hiding in plain sight. And if this story blew your mind, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss another incredible discovery that proves once and for all that coins aren't just money, they're history, mystery, and sometimes pure magic.